Let's talk stages in Dragon Ball FighterZ. You can destroy them slightly as the battle moves forward, you can completely obliterate them with super moves. There are even stage-specific transitions, so not only are they relevant to gameplay, they also take place in several iconic locations that we remember fondly from the anime. My name's Globku, and today we're talking about the 5 stages that we've seen completely playable with some proper gameplay, an extra stage that seems to be confirmed but haven't actually seen gameplay yet, and finally we'll talk about what's coming next. Let's go. First up, Planet Namek. This was one of the first stages to actually be revealed. The planet's famous for being the place of origin of Piccolo, one of the main characters in Dragon Ball. We've met several other characters from Piccolo's race, and it really expanded on the background of these characters. Of course, Namek is also the place where most of the Frieza arc happens, and where for the first time we see Goku turning Super Saiyan. The battle has not been forgotten in Dragon Ball FighterZ. In the anime, Frieza destroys the planet in a desperate move to try to win the battle. And Destroy Namek has also made it into the game by finishing a character off with a powerful attack. The stage can go from this to this. Right about the same time that we learned about Planet Namek, we also learned about the next stage, the World Tournament Arena. So many great memories from the show happened in this arena. It's one of the most iconic arenas in the whole of Dragon Ball, because it's been in every series. It's been on the original Dragon Ball, it's been on Dragon Ball Z, and give it some time, it will also show up in Dragon Ball Super, I bet. The World Tournament stage doesn't seem to have any stage transitions. It can't be completely destroyed like Namek can, but there are some cool animations for when you finish an opponent with a heavy knockback attack or a big super attack, like these. The Gamescom build later showed us 3 new stages, starting with West City. West City is already pretty beat up when the fight starts, and I guess that's just its normal state at this point. With so many villains destroying it so many times over the course of the anime, I doubt it ever looks normal anymore. From the footage we've seen so far, it doesn't seem like this stage has any special transitions or any destroyed states. Not so far at least. It doesn't mean that there won't be any in the final game, but in this build doesn't seem to be anything there. Or maybe I just missed something. Let me know if you've seen anything for West City. Next up, the Cell Games Arena. This arena just needs no introduction. It's the arena where Cell decided to hold a tournament that would determine the future of Earth. This is also where Gohan's true power was finally unleashed. Against all odds, he overcame his own personal limits and defeated Cell. The Cell Games Arena also doesn't seem to have any destroyed state or stage transition. The floor does get pretty beat up as the battle goes, but that seems to be as far as it goes for now. And finally, the last confirmed stage we have with some proper gameplay is Rocky Fields. Parenthesis, noon. That's an important detail that we'll get to later. Rocky Fields has been the stage for a lot of moments in Dragon Ball. Whenever Goku says to an enemy, hey, let's take this battle to a remote location, it's usually a place that looks like the Rocky Fields. But this stage in particular, these Rocky Fields, they are probably a reference to the original Goku vs Vegeta fight. This is probably the place where the Saiyans invaded and fought the Earth's defenders. And that theory seems to be supported by the stage transition that exists in this stage. By finishing your opponent with a heavy knockback, you'll actually transition all the way into a different stage. Now, this stage looks good, but it's also hard to identify it because it's a bit generic. But I'd say, because of the crater in the background, this is the place where Raditz pod landed. The crater could also be the one that Majin Vegeta left when he blew up. It could also be the Cell Games Arena all blown up, but I don't know why. The crater where Raditz landed just seems like a much better fit, and I can't explain why. Those were the 5 stages in the Gamescom build, but in the very first trailer, the reveal trailer at E3 2017, there were a couple of fast glimpses of another stage, which I think pretty much confirms that it will be in the game. This is the space stage, and I cannot for the life of me figure out where this is from. I mean, that looks like Earth in the background, and on the left, that looks like the moon, so what? Are they fighting in a meteor? When did that happen in Dragon Ball? I really don't remember. It looks incredible. It's probably my favorite stage in terms of how it looks, but I just can't place it in the series. If you have any ideas, please let me know. The closest I've gotten to is the planet where Vegeta trained to become a Super Saiyan, but I don't think that planet was near Earth to have it so clearly in sight like this. Alright, 6 confirmed stages, so what's next? Obviously there will be more stages to come, but how many can we reasonably expect? To answer that question, let's go to Arc System's previous game, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. So Rev 2 has 22 stages right now, so expecting more than that is a little bit crazy, and I'll explain why. Despite Dragon Ball FighterZ having a bigger budget than Guilty Gear probably ever had, Guilty Gear is a long-running series. They've had the chance to develop these stages for a very long time, and they could recycle a lot of stages from previous games. They didn't have to do it all from scratch, like they have to for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Out of those 22 stages in Rev 2, 16 of them were already present in Guilty Gear Xrd Sign, so Arc System Games just had time to add stages as the years went. Personally, I think it's more reasonable to expect the number of stages in Dragon Ball FighterZ to be closer to the number 15, just like they had 16 stages when Guilty Gear Xrd Sign came out, which hey, it's not a bad number at all. Now the question is, how many of those stages will just be the same stage at a different time of day? Arc Systems has done this in the past. They have reused stages, changing up the time of day to increase the stage count. And I'm not gonna complain, I think the lighting in this game is so good that I very much look forward to seeing these characters in different lighting conditions. But so far we already know that one of these stages is gonna get reused, and that's the Rocky Fields. Remember the parentheses? I told you it was important. Since the Rocky Fields is the stage with a transition, that probably means the crater map will also have a night skin, or maybe they even do something more interesting and the stage transition takes you to a completely different place. And that's the analysis I have for you on the stages today, so with the analysis out of the way, it's time for requests. I would love to know which stages you'd like to see in the game. Allow me to start the conversation with some of my choices, but really, I want you guys to hit those comments, because your ability to surprise me or remind me of stages or moments that I have long forgotten about, it's been one of my favorite things to do on this channel. So thank you for all you've done so far. I would love for you guys to engage in this conversation as well. Alright, so I'd like to see Kami's Tower. I don't necessarily like the hyperbolic time chamber a lot. It's just a lot of white. I think it's boring, but some people like it. I won't take offense if someone says that in the comments, but I'd like the actual Kami Tower in the game. I would also love to go to King Kai's planet, but that might be a little bit tough to do as a fighting stage because the planet is so small. I don't know if they can make that planet into a 2D plane because, you know, because if it's so small, then the platform would probably be kind of round and that would break the game, maybe. But I think they could do something creative where you're perhaps fighting in the snake way, which would probably be pretty easy to make a 2D stage out of, and then have King Kai's planet in the background. There may be some stage transitions or some finishers send you flying to King Kai, and King Kai's all mad because, oh, you broke my house again. Kame House is another iconic place I'd like to see in the game. I always feel a bit more relaxed when playing in the Kame House. It just feels like I'm sparring with my buddies and not actually having a death match, and it's a nice break from, you know, a violent fighting game that is so fast-paced and seems kind of stressful. And finally, I'm gonna throw a curveball with this last request. Janemba's stage. Janemba's reality bending abilities have given us some awesome locations, and with this game's graphics, I think it would be wonderful to witness them and as well as fight within them. And those are some of the stages that I would personally like to see. Do leave your own requests in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys are into. And for more information on Party Battles, the online game mode that has been confirmed to be in FighterZ, check out this video right here. If you're in the mood for something else, there's also this video right here. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!